Where in the world do you get music and effects for your DIY demos and multi-track practice? That's what we're going to talk about today. But first, welcome to it. Monday morning, hashtag I love Mondays. And back at it in the voiceover huddle. We do it every weekday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Just trying to give you a little piece of information that'll help you grow or sustain your voiceover business. I'm glad you're here. My name's Mike Hathcote. I'm a full-time voice actor. And I jump on here every day or every morning, weekday morning to help you with that. So uh, please chime in on the chat and let me know where you're watching from. We're going to do some shout outs here just in a few minutes. And we are so close to 84,000 subscribers. I can smell it. We're at 84.9. So who knows how many more we need to get to 85. So please, if you don't already, subscribe. So that way you get this information as quickly as you can. And of course, like and hit the notification bell too. Um, okay, so one of the thing, well, actually, first of all, let's go back a little bit. Remember your homework? Remember on Friday we talked about going to my website and checking to see which spot in my commercial demo was the new spot. So did you do your homework? Did you go check it out? If you did, drop it in and let me know what you think the brand new spot. Well, a couple of months ago spot is on my commercial demo. As I said, I recorded that a couple of months ago just to refresh my demo. The producer had told me that the demo was good to go still, even at 6 years old, with the exception of one spot. So if you want to go check it out real quick before you put your answer in, do that, and we're going to see if you can guess the correct spot, which is the new one. So. Oh, also, if you're a member of the Blueprint, today is the last day of the fake audition submissions. So if you haven't submitted yet for fake audition, where you can win a free audio video demo for your submission for that spot, please do so. The deadline is this afternoon at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Then I'm going to take them all, check them all out, see which one is the best one, put music, speaking of music, and effects and video to it. And that person will win that spot that they can then go and put it on their website or on their demo or wherever they want to put it. And that's how we do it once a month on the VoiceOver Blueprint private Facebook group. Oh, and last but not least, the TV affiliate Bootcamp, a couple or three maybe over the weekend. More spots got taken, so we're down to, I believe, 6 spots left. So if you've been kind of on the fence on whether or not you should do that, you better grab one before they're gone. We've got 6 spots left. We're capping it at 15 people. So if you want to learn more about that, check out the description below. Also, you can see an interview I did with Aaron Bradley, who is hosting this boot camp, and we go into really deep detail and all the different things that you get. Okay, enough of that stuff. Let's talk about what we're going to talk about. And that is, where do you find music or sound effects to practice in your multi-track editor or to do a DIY demo? This is a question that I get quite a bit, especially when I'm working with a new client on a demo. And of course, I have to put the caveat out there that remember, if you're doing a DIY demo, do not direct market a DIY demo. Remember, when you're doing DIY, it's just for practice or just for things like Fiverr and Upwork and those kind of platforms. Do not do any direct marketing with a DIY demo. Okay, having said that, if you're still going to work on a DIY demo and you want to be competitive in the DIY demo space, you're going to need to put some music and sound effects on there. Because a lot of the other demos that you're going to be up against are going to have music and sound effects. So you want it to sound as close to the original spot or to an original spot. You want it to sound as legit as possible. Too legit to quit. And so where do you find the music and the sound effects to put on there? Okay, so the main place that I like to send people is the YouTube audio library. If you've got a YouTube account, you should be able to access this in the YouTube Studio page. but if you just Google YouTube audio library, there, it should come up. But anyway, in there, you can search for all different types of genres of music and sound effects. It's all royalty free. Nothing. You don't have to pay for it. You can even search by style and mood and things like that. So there's a ton of music on the YouTube Studio library, or I'm sorry, YouTube Audio library. So that's the first place that I send people. The next place that I send people is just for sound effects, but it's freesound.org. Freesound.org. And if you go to freesound.org, it's free to join, obviously. You do have to have an account, but you can search for so many different types of sound effects on there. The cool thing about Freesound is that it's user-generated content, meaning that anyone with an account can record any sound and upload it for everybody else to use. So you would be amazed at how specific you can get on Freesound as far as what you're looking for. You never know when somebody has actually recorded something and put it up there that is exactly the thing that you want to hear. Maybe it's a candy wrapper unwrapping, or a specific car. In fact, I was working with someone on a demo a few years back, and we were doing a spot for, I think it was like the Mazda 6 or something like that, and we needed a car that was like a car revving sound, like or flying by, like like a car passing by. And of course, we would have been fine with any old car passing by, but he did a lookup for a Mazda 6, and he actually found a Mazda 6 car revving and driving by, which is perfect. Talk about authentic. So you can find all kinds of cool stuff on freesound.org. Just type in what you're searching for. You'll get a list of a bunch of different ones. You pick the one you like and just download it. Another one is called Storyblocks. We talked about Storyblocks just the other day, I believe. And I believe the Storyblocks, I can't remember what the actual amount is. I think it's like a couple $100 a year to belong to that. But you get music, you get sound effects, you also get stock photos and stock video. It is a kind of a full suite of resources for content creators. You do have to pay for it, but it is very, very robust as far as finding music and effects for that. You can also just use regular MP3s. If you've got MP3s that you've ripped from a CD, or you've downloaded somehow and you've just got them on your computer, you can use those as well. And remember, if it's because it's a demo, you don't have to really pay if you're just using a little snippet of it. For instance, I've got on my demo a song by the Spice Girls on my demo. So that was kind of cool, and so that also gives it more kind of realism because you've got a real song on there from a real group. The last place that I'll send you is a place called Purple Planet. Purple-planet.com. I believe it's a .com. Anyway, just do a search for Purple Planet. That is another free source for music. I don't think they have sound effects, but it's more for music. Royalty free. You can search by mood and find the track that you're kind of looking for. So those are several places where you can go find music and effects if you're working on putting together a DIY demo, or if you're just trying to work on your multi-track prowess, because that is something that you should know how to do in voiceover, is work in multi-track, meaning track 1 voice, track 2 music, track 3 and 4 and 5 sound effects, so that you can actually mix together a full realistic sounding demo. But once again, do not direct market that demo. Only do that with not a brand new, but a professionally produced demo. Okay. All right. Let's see what people are guessing on my demo and see who's in today. Jim Ripper's the first one in from Beaufort, South Carolina. Good afternoon to you, Jim. And there's Terry from Falston, Maryland. Good afternoon, sir. And there's old Ron from Grand Haven, Michigan, and Dennis from Pasadena. Good morning to you. And Wayne from Port Orchard, Washington. Nephi, hello from Knoxville, Tennessee. What? And Celeste says, hey ho, from Newark, Delaware. Is that a Ramones reference? Some of you may know what I'm talking about there. Dennis says, hello from Grant Park, Illinois, and Maria from Rhode Island. Good afternoon to you, Maria. And Charlie from Sparta, Wisconsin. Good afternoon or good morning. It's probably morning still there. And there's Nancy from Yankton, South Dakota. And Sarah from Kentucky. Good afternoon to you. Happy and Joyful says, hello from the Sunshine State, Florida. Thank you for such a great channel and sharing your knowledge. Well, my pleasure. That's very nice of you to say. Thank you so much. And there's Jason from Kearney, Nebraska. And Tim from Altoona. So no guesses yet on my demo? You guys are slacking. There's Gretchen in Indianapolis. Good morning. And there's Grady in Ithaca, New York. Oh, by the way, Grady, we're still working on your situation there for the boot camp. So we're on it. Fear not, we're gonna get it figured out. Kate says rainy day and Monday. That is one of my favorite Carpenters songs. It's Rainy Days and Mondays always get me down. But you've heard me say it on here before. I love Mondays. In fact, I just posted a thing on social media for my voiceover business testimonial. And I always hashtag, if I do it on a Monday, I put hashtag I love Mondays because this is fun to get in here and do this on a Monday. I never dread it. I look forward to it. And if you hate Mondays, you're in the wrong business. Alan says, good afternoon from Philly. And there's Becky. Happy Monday from Albion, Michigan. My dog ate my homework. Oh, see? Shame, shame, Becky. I know that excuse. And there's Andrew from Latvia. And Theo from the kitchen table in Palos Hills, Illinois. Good afternoon or good morning to you. Okay. Alan's guess is Home Depot. Kate guesses Home Depot. I'm gonna just kind of tally these up, and I'll tell you what it is when we're done, because I don't want to give it away too early. Okay, so that's 2 votes for Home Depot, and there's Sean from Longview. He's going to be in the boot camp coming up soon. There's Dennis. Dennis loves story blocks. All the needs in one place. That's true. Video, audio, sound effects, bumpers, all kinds of stuff. Foley, everything. There's Tracy from Rochester, Minnesota. And there's James from the Detroit area. Theo says, replying to Becky, my cats ate my homework too. Well, you guys are slacking. Come on. Jay says, good afternoon from Covington, Georgia. And Sarah says, the GameStop piece from your demo. That's what her guess is on that. We'll see. James said, saw VO music and had to come and watch. Love the music part of things. Yeah, that's the fun part. When I'm working with someone on a demo, the best part about that process is getting in that creative space, that creative sandbox. When you've got the VO done and the performance is great, but you need to put all the bells and whistles on. And that's when it starts to get really fun to put in the good music and effects and really, polish that thing up and make it sound like the real deal, a real commercial that you would hear out there on the radio or wherever. And it gets fun because when you start to search for all that kind of stuff, there's so many options. And that's where you get your creative juices a-flowing. There's Phil in Tokyo and Police Commander Z3 in Atlanta. James says, just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday. That's my fun day. Okay, that's the Bangles. That's 2 Monday songs we've talked about today. Lynette says, "Happy Monday from Sparks, Nevada." And Lynette's also gonna be in our Blueprint or our see, Blueprint and Bootcamp, they're kind of the same, so I always get them mixed up. She'll be in the Bootcamp starting on the 24th. Andrew guesses the first spot on the demo, so that's the GameStop demo, that's his guess on which one is the new one. Kathleen says, "Good morning from Evanston, Wyoming," good morning. James says, "The best is when you found a song that just perfectly crescendos when the script gets more intense and you didn't have to even do any time editing." Yes, that is cool when you get an automatic or not automatic. What's the word? It's a coincidental, thing where there's a certain punctuation in your read that happens right at the specific spot of the music that it accentuates it. So, yes, that does happen, and it's always magical when it does. Okay, so really only the two spots that have been chosen for my demo or for the new one on my demo are Home Depot and GameStop. Are those your only guesses as to which one on my demo is brand new or a couple months new? I'm gonna give it a minute in case you wanna go check it. If you wanna go check it real quick, go to mikehathcote.com and play the video that's right at the top and tell me which one of those spots is the new spot, and all the rest are from 2019. So, let me know. Right now, we've got a couple votes for GameStop and a couple of votes for Home Depot. But which is it gonna be? That is the sign of a good demo, by the way, is, if one of them does get updated and you can't tell which one is the new one, that's a good sign that, you've done a good job. All right, well, I'm not gonna sit here and just tread water for for a while, so I will go ahead and give away the answer, and that is the Home Depot spot is the new spot. I needed a more authoritative kind of read in there, and, it's a little more serious. It's about storm damage and, when storm damage hits your house, the Home Depot has your back, very, very serious. And so, that was one that I was missing on there. So I had a a Honda Pilot spot that was on there before, and we just swapped those 2 out. Dropped the Honda Pilot since I already had another one on there. Um, I had another one on there for, what was it? Another kind of conversational read. I already had one on there. So instead of having a couple like that on there, I put the new one in over the Honda spot. Oh, there's another one. Lynette says, "I got in late." Are we talking about Monday songs? Yeah, another one is Monday, Monday. That's by the Mamas and the Papas. That's another good one. Sarah says she really couldn't tell. Tesla. No, Andrew, that's not Tesla's my narration demo. So I'm talking about my commercial demo, the video that's at the top of my website. That's the video that you should play. Um, I've got a Tesla read on my corporate narration one, but that is not new. All right. Once again, it was the Home Depot spot. So if you guessed right, then yes, you are correct and you win absolutely nothing. Bragging rights, maybe. Okay, I'm gonna get to work, y'all, but I'll see you back here tomorrow, and we'll talk about more voiceover ideas and voiceover, tips and tricks to keep your business rocking and rolling. Until then, have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Break a lip.